Hello, welcome. I'm artist Lisa Christensen, and I believe that everyone can learn watercolor and that creating art is twofold joy. I love bachelor buttons. We grow them in my garden every year, and yes, that's my daughter picking some bachelor buttons. We make tea out of the blossoms, and it is so much fun. And so I thought I would share with you how I like to paint a simple bachelor button for a card. This is just a preview of what I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you how to use one layer in a Chinese brush style painting and then go into a darker, a second layer for our next values. It's going to be fun. I'm going to share with you how I compose the bachelor button and then just kind of a simple little fun bachelor button motif that I paint almost every year. I love these beautiful flowers. So let's get started. But first, before we get started, please like my video and subscribe to my channel, our channel. It's the Watercolor Cards channel. I sure appreciate it. Now I am using a size 8 and a size 10 oval brush, and then a rigger size like 18 rigger brush from Escoda Versatile. I am writing down my best friend watercolor palette. It has all of my favorite colors, and I use this palette like on a daily basis. This is literally my best friend. I'm using Hooker's Green and a little bit of Sap Green just to mix, and I am starting with a very simple kind of a V look, and I'm just getting some leaves in. Bachelor button leaves are not as frilly as that, but I wanted to add some depth and just some texture to the leaves. Alright, I am using Daniel Smith Lavender. It's such a pretty color. It has some white titanium in it along with some blues, so like ultramarine blue. And I'm just using my big rigger brush, my Escoda Versatile brush, and I am making the shape. You kind of see a little bit of that dark in the center. That's just to kind of give me a place to start from, and I did draw some circles so I kind of know where to stop. I like drawing circles because it gives me the spatial awareness that I'm looking for, and then I'm just adding a little bit more of that darker lavender color in the center of the flower. This I am using a tea consistency, maybe a milk consistency. It's kind of in between tea and milk, and I'm just adding the stems and the leaves, and I'm using light pressure and then full pressure, almost like using my wrist a lot. And while I'm getting my greens on, I'm changing from Hooker's Green to Sap Green, so it's not a green that you get from the tube. I practice a lot with my brush handling, and that's how I can get that's how I can be more confident in just getting something on the paper. And it has taken me a while to get to that point, but once you get to that point, it's a really magical place to be. And then I'm just finishing up with the little buds, and you can always add a little bit of purple into this as well. I chose to just keep it really simple with the lavender color and then just that ultramarine blue. I also thought there was some space right here, so I'm adding another floral flower head to this. Okay, and this will be a half a flower head, almost as if you were looking at it at a different angle, but that's okay. That is also part of the fun of doing these quick little wildflower studies. Another tip that I have is I got this inspiration from the book Wildflowers Watercolor from Shushmi, and I love her books. She has given a lot of great tips, so that is a book I recommend. And now I'm just going to go in and I'm going to add a little bit more dark. I'm just adding ultramarine to these flowers just to give it a little bit more definition. The petals have dried a little bit, so I can kind of get in and I don't want to make blooms or cauliflowers, but I do want to be able to get in there and just get in some darker pigment, and so that is what I'm doing. I'm going to let this completely dry, and then we'll go back in and add some details. But while the paint is still wet, I can add some of the softer details that I want, and that's what I'm doing right now with the leaves. I'm just adding the details that I think are needed. Maybe I didn't connect something like I wanted to, or maybe I just want to let my colors blend with the water. And so when I can go back and it's still wet and it can still is easy to get my brush strokes to look soft, that's what I do. And then I just add detail. Not a lot, just a little bit. I'm going to come back in, and I just want to make that flower just a little bit darker at the bottom, because the light will always come towards the top of their petals. And that's a good stopping point. All right, now that it is dried, it took about 5-10 minutes to dry. I'm using my number 8 brush, and I'm just going to use some dark, just regular ultramarine, very thick, milk-like consistency, and I'm going to add the details to the center of the flowers, and then I'm going to look around a little bit and see what else it needs. But I know the center needs a definite look to it, and so now this is just the playtime, the fun part. I will also go in and just give some detail to each petal. I just want the petals to look like someone painted them, but that they didn't look overly done. And so that's what I'm doing right now, and I'm taking my time, but I'm also trying to just make it look as natural as I possibly can. And you'll see that I'll go one place and then stop and then go somewhere else and do something, and that's just my process. There's no good way to describe it. It's just how you feel. And the more you paint and the more you get to know your subject, the more you can feel your subject. This piece is perfect for a Mother's Day card or for a birthday. I'm so excited to use this for spring. This is like a 5x7 size, and it is going to be perfect for a card. Anyways, if you found this at all helpful, please like and subscribe to my channel, like the video, comment below if you grow bachelor buttons like I do, and do you make tea out of them, or did you even know you could make tea? They're so much fun, and the tea is delicious. Anyways, happy gardening and happy painting, and bye for now. Happy painting.